Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I finally have a Commodore 64. This delightfully brown Breadbin. It's the rainbow logo. The logos look good. The case isn't cracked. Everything looks nice on it. I don't think this had a whole lot of use, but maybe it did. I don't even see a lot of dust in the covers and things, but this guy has a problem. I have my little screen here, maybe that we can try to plug in, and we can I'm going to show you guys the problem that we have here. Okay, I was unprepared. I didn't have power connection for this little screen. All right. Well, let's plug this in. Very much color-coded connectors. That power connection is for power out to something else. Volume on there, which this thing will probably play any noises that come out of this machine if we can get him working. You guys can see that. It's already in 4:3 mode, which this little screen just calls normal. That's its default screen. Let's plug the power into the Commodore. Come on, get in there. We'll plug this into the video out. If you watch the screen, you can see what happens. It'd help if I have the power supply turned on. It almost works, if you can see the screen there, but there's nothing on the screen. I mean, it has the blue box like you'd expect, but not the normal display. That typically tells of a character ROM issue. So let's power this down. Turn both power switches off. You can just leave that on. We'll unplug everything. There we go. I'm going to turn this guy over and see what we can. I haven't had this open yet. I've never personally taken one of these apart, to be honest. Get my screwdriver. I see 3 screws here on the front. We'll take those first. See, this badge is, well, too big for the square that they had cut out for it. They just put it on the side there. It says made in USA. It's the FCC ID and the serial number for anybody interested in those. It looks like that's going to get us in. Are there clips back there, or are there other screws? I can't tell. Maybe under the rubber feet. Pry one of these up and see. Or tear it apart. There's nothing under there. Definitely some clips right here on the back. Before I do any major damage, let's see if I can wedge in there and pop them loose without destroying anything. With my old library card trick. I see him down there. That sounded bad, but he's loose. Now let's gently take this keyboard connector off. Got to remember, white goes to the front up here. Then this guy, and he's loose. And the tabs are intact. That's awesome. This LED didn't light up either, but I'm not terribly concerned with that right now. Looks remarkably clean on the inside of this guy. Look at that. Like it's fresh from the factory. Little bit of scuffing and oxidation there. Not rust, but it's just kind of losing its coating. This is remarkably shiny. I think that fuse is in good order. Yep. Now, which one of these is the character ROM? It'll be my luck, it'll be that guy right there. I have some modern replacements, like this guy, for a character ROM. It's a 2332 replacement. I have no idea. Well, let's look that up, and I'll get back to you. Well, glad to know my luck holds out. I don't know if you can see that right there. U5 is the character ROM, which is the one we're trying to replace. And U5 down here is that one that is not in a socket. All the rest of these are. That one is not. That's fun. All right. We're going to have to fix that socketless problem. So first, let's get this board out of here. I'm sure there are several videos about this, but that's not important right now. Little screw there. Didn't look like it was connected to anything. I took him out anyway. Didn't look like it was holding the board in. The screw doesn't want to come loose. And it has that metal shield on the bottom. Let's put all of that to the side. Okay. Well, it's time for a little screwdriver. Little flat blade screwdriver at that. There we go. Like that. And clean off the desk here. That screen over there. All this. You can take the screws. Okay. Then this should prove to be a pretty simple operation. All right. Just heat these up. To melt the solder. That little screw was holding this bracket on. We'll just take him off. There's that. That's in remarkably good condition too. Even the cardboard cover. Really nice. There's some crud here on the board though. Left over from the factory. This board looks really clean though. Some flux residue there. All right. Character arm is here, which means it is here, these two rows of pins. And to do this properly, first, yep, right there. First, add a little bit. Okay. There. A little bit of extra solder to each pin. Oh, there I am. I made a solder blob. Getting a little sloppy with my work here. That looked like a dry solder joint. Before I go through with, since that looked like a incomplete or dried solder joint, before I go through with pulling that chip out, let's see if reflowing that a little didn't fix the issue. I have the C64 power supply here on the side. Of course, that's not going to work. Have to plug the video in. There we go. Well, now we're just getting a black screen. The machine's off now. Turn him on. Screen flickers a little. Well, let's continue with our original goal. Little solder sucker. After adding a little bit of solder, put this down on the pin, make sure it feels melted. Give it a little toot. Go to the other side. There are a couple that aren't quite. Got my solder all hot. A couple here that we're going to add a little more solder to. Then we will try. That's better. Well, let's see if we can't get him out of there. Just needed a little convincing. There's the old one. Looks like all the holes and traces are still there. That's a good sign. Looks like that is a DIT 24, and I think I have a socket for that. Little cheap piece, but it would be better than not having a socket. The board has a silk screen for which way the notch goes. The socket has a notch there, so just drop him in place. He's holding pretty well. Tack down the corners. Well, a couple of corners. Then each. Okay. The tip was getting gained up with solder. Just clean him off a little. Double checking my work here. Everything looks pretty well tacked down. Looks a little weird there. All right. Let's set him down. With the new socket in there. We'll try this guy. He's also notched here on the top. It should just pop down in the socket. It's not very safe. Put him in there. All right, moment of truth. Again with the gray, with the screen, but nothing on it, and it has a fallen screen. It has no text. Well, let me take a look at this. And if I don't come back, I hope you have a nice evening, but I'm going to try to figure this out.